Guys, I'm going to tell you about where Palumboism comes from. No matter what you think of Dave Palumbo or not, it sucks to have this where the slang for it is related to you, that you're the godfather of the slang name for it. Palumboism is not a medical term. Obviously, we know it's meaning after um, the belly, the big bellies, swollen bellies, and it's atrophy to the limbs, such as the quads, the sweep starts to leave, the bicep, tricep, the lateral, your lats, and your chest start to atrophy. Look, and the belly sticks out. Back on Dave's now. I've had good conversations with Dave, so nothing against him. I feel bad for him for it being named after that. But back in I want to say the late '90s or early 2000s. I don't know when it was last. It was either Nationals. I mean the North American or the USA. USA, you have to win overall. Back in that day, winning your class, and it still might be that way, did not get your pro card. You had to win overall. The North American, I believe, was the same way. I'm almost positive it's the same way. You have to win the overall. Your class, and obviously the overall. And the nationals, I believe, is still the same. I think it is every class winner and the over class winner, and the one that's the overall class winner over all the classes turns pro. So, like I said, every class winner and the overall, and that's nationals. Now I can't remember which one it was, but I was watching ESPN, and I was young. I was like in my probably 28, 30, something like that. I'm just guesstimating on that. And I was watching ESPN, and it came on because they used to have that on there, and it was U.S. Muscle or something like that. I can't remember, or NPC News, I think what it was. Either or, David came on. The atrophy had eaten his limbs up, his bis and tris, his lats, his chest. I mean, it would look bad, and his belly was just, swollen, and the belly button sticking out hardcore. And he threw up a double bicep, and it looked like a guy that was pregnant with 16-inch arms and probably 28-inch quads. It looked bad. He was running from one end of the stage back and forth, and you know how they wave and do that, and his belly was just bouncing. It was embarrassing that you were embarrassed for him. I was. Now, like I said, I don't mean anything against Dave. I'm sure he's accepted it by now because everybody knows what Palumboism is. Palumboism. And like I said, it's not a medical term. It's a slang word. And that right there, man. What happens is back in those days, you didn't have all these cards being given out. Like the first two class winners and all this stuff. Like with Dave, the last thing he had won, let me get this first. The last thing he had won was a regional show national qualifier, overall. That got him to the Nationals or the North American or the USA. So that's it. But in Dave's day, you had people like Edgar Fletcher, you had Chris Cormier, you had Paul DeLitt, you had Flex Wheeler, you had Craig Titus, because when Titus was in shape, he even had weight line. Franco Santelio, which is a good friend of mine, man. I love that guy to death. I met him a few years ago, and awesome dude. Guys like that, man, that were just Matt Mendenhall, all these just awesome pros. I don't know if I said it yet, but Paul DeMeo, Mike Matarazzo. And so you basically had to wait in line is what it was, unless you were so good like Paul DeLitt. When he came in, I think he did the North American is what he won. And I remember I was working at a bar, and they had as a sports bar, and he had the TV up there. And I was watching him, dude, and God, Oh man, he was big. I remember Mike Matarazzo when he won. But Dave just like somebody would come in that was just better than him. So it'd be up for his turn, so to say. And because you had to earn it, you had to earn it. And somebody would be better and come in. So it really sucked for him. So health purposes, I believe, like you said, that's why he, stopped. He wanted to have a family, and I totally can see that. Back in that day, there wasn't all the heavy drug usage, but I think insulin and the growth were not known how to use the insulin as well. Milos is the one that came along with the protocol. He's the one that showed Jay Cutler. I think it was in 99 or 2001. I think that's why Cutler took 2001 off, because that's when he had started using insulin, and he went to Milos backstage, said, after the Olympia, I think he got last place or something like that. It could have been 98, something like that. Cutler turned pro in 96 in Dallas. So, I can't say why Dave did. It's just that your body gets burnt out on the drugs for so long. You have only a certain amount of a window, and when that window is run out, the body gives out. And those two go hand in hand. What is his name oh, come on, man. I just thought of his name earlier. Grimes. Regan Grimes. I like Regan. He seems like a nice young man. He's actually a dirt bike racer, man. I love my dirt bike, my KX, Kawasaki 80 racing. But he is at the best he's going to get. I'm not trying to down the guy, just saying his body's not going to go any far. His genetics have taken him as far as it's going to take him, and the drugs have taken his genetics as far as it's going to take him. It's just not. You got guys like Hunter Labrada. You got Nick Walker. Nick Walker, basically, I don't see how he can get any bigger. He's trying to control the waist right now. So, it just, you have that certain window, a time. And, I qualified. I did a level 3 national qualifier, did nationals in 96 with Dex. He was a light heavy, I was a middleweight. And man, when I saw these guys, Jason Arntz and all them, I knew I did not want to do the drugs that it would take, because it would be the next level of drugs. I did not have the genetics without basically hurting myself. And I had just gotten married and had my first kid. And I had a good lawn business where I cut all the Rally's hamburgers, which are like checker hamburgers, throughout Jacksonville, Florida. I had the second leading lawn business, and I built that up after I got out of federal prison for selling steroids. Come back and can't with steroids. And San Bernardino, California. So, land, sea, and air. Real smart, huh? Oh, male. But that's what happens. So, at least what I've seen. And if you get a chance, go back and look up Dave Palumbo's last national contest, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm not trying to down him or anything, but you'll see that was the first of the Palumboism, or where they gave it a name. All right, guys. Like I said before in the earlier videos, y'all have an awesome Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And keep it to the gym, baby. Whoosh. Boom.